Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Will. Welcome to the 28th episode of Sports Center Legend TV. And on today's episode, we're going to talk about whether or not the Knicks should have pursued either Westbrook or Chris Paul before both men were traded recently. So if you like this video, please feel free to like it, comment on it, share it. And if you haven't done so before, please hit that notification bell so you can be notified for future episodes. So, as you all know, there was a big deal that went down, and in that trade, Oklahoma City traded their point guard, their all-star point guard Russell Westbrook, to the Houston Rockets in exchange for Chris Paul. And as a result, the Oklahoma City Thunder, they got not only Chris Paul, but they also got first round picks in 2024 and 2026, and they also have the opportunity to swap picks in 2021 and 2025. So yeah, this is a big deal in the NBA, and as a result, what was I gonna say? Russell Westbrook, he gets reunited with his former teammate. Westbrook's gonna be reunited with James Harden. And they've been teammates, I think, since 2009 to 2012 when Harden got traded to the Rockets, and of course won the MVP award. But of course, ever since those guys were broken up, I mean, along with Durant, they could never win the title. And of course, those guys wanted to have phenomenal careers, and won MVPs, of course. And this is a big move for the Rockets. They're going to try to win their first title since 1995, when they swept the Magic. And of course, that they won back-to-back years because, the Rockets beat my Knicks in 1994, which was, arguably probably the first of many heartbreaks. I mean, probably the biggest heartbreak as a Knicks fan, of all time, right there. They had a chance to win it in Houston, and they lost. But okay, I'm getting off topic here. That's another episode for another time. But in any case, the Rockets, they're trying to win their third ever title, first since '95, and of course, they haven't won the title and since then, and they have a big problem, because that team, they score a lot, but they can't play any defense, which have been very known for Mike D'Antoni teams to possess their ability to score, because he's a offensive minded genius. But unfortunately, his teams can't win any championships because they're just focused on the offensive side of the ball, and they think they could just literally outscore people to win a title, which evident when he was coaching the Knicks. And of course, as you can see, the Knicks are still waiting for that title, the first title since 1973. But I digress. And then on the Oklahoma City Thunder side, they're looking for their first title, in franchise history. Of course, the Thunder was formerly known as the Seattle Supersonics, which of course they won their only title in '79. But it's clearly obvious that the Thunder is in rebuilding mode, because they got rid of their last great star right there. They gotta rebuild. I mean, they got a great player in Paul, but unfortunately he's 34. He has 2 years left on the huge contract he signed with Houston. They got a lot of huge picks. I think they have like 8 picks since since the draft or something, some crazy stat like that. So, they're acquiring draft picks, which a rebuilding team should do. And there's even rumors that the the Rockets are gonna rather the Thunder is gonna try to trade Paul to the Heat and pair him up with Butler, which wouldn't be a bad move, for them to do that, since they're trying to turn their franchise around and try to be a good team probably for the first time since they got rid of Dwayne Wade, who's arguably the greatest Heat of all time. You could put Alonzo Mourning on that level as well. But yeah, my thinking is I think it's a good move for both teams. Obviously Westbrook, he's a walking triple double, a guy you gotta get on your team. But for him to be a championship caliber team, he has to be like the second best, if not the third best guy on your team. Preferably a third best guy on your team, because this guy's a walking triple double, but he just needs to pass the ball more. And I know that sounds weird because this guy averaged over 10 assists a game. Obviously, this guy's a phenomenal athlete, but he just needs to be on a team where he could share the ball more. He could trust his teammates to share the ball with. And with Harden, he knows Harden can score as well as he can. So I think he's going to defer to him. And apparently they still have a great relationship ever since they had it in Thunder, before Harden got traded. And then, of course, Durant shocked the world a few years ago when he took his talents to Golden State and basically abruptly left the Thunder. And that ruined his relationship with Westbrook. And Westbrook had to hold down the fort. And they just got knocked out like early, these past couple of years. And Russell Westbrook, he's been getting feuds with the media because they criticize his postseason failures as of right now. So we're just hoping that for his sake, the Rockets fans, they're hoping that he could win that title for them. And being paired with Harden, that's a great recipe for that. Then my take, the Knicks. Do I think the Knicks should have went after Paul? No, I don't think so. Cause Paul, he has a phenomenal career, but he's too injury prone and he's 34 years old. You can't trust that guy. But I would have taken a shot at Westbrook, but I would not have given up Mitchell Robinson under no circumstances, and I wouldn't have given up R.J. Barrett. And theoretically, they couldn't even make the trade since until December 15th because they signed a bunch of guys. After they got played by Durant and Kyrie Irving, and then they canceled a deal with a meeting with Kawhi Leonard because they knew they would be third or fourth best on his free agency tour. Ultimately, he signed with Clippers and got Paul George to get traded with him to Clippers, which basically was the last straw for Westbrook. But apparently Westbrook wanted to be traded before the shocking Paul George trade. But it's a new era for the Clippers. The West is a beast. The West is the beast like they usually are. You got the Clippers, you got the Lakers. Golden State, they're gonna take a hit because Klay Thompson got that torn ACL, so they're gonna that's gonna be a tough season for them. They trade away Iguodala. Of course, they still have Curry. So yeah, it's gonna be a tough season for them next year, especially with all these teams in the West. They're tough, And then not to mention, you got the Nets, which Nets, they're gonna have this pass because Durant's gonna be gone for the rest of the year. But next year, yeah, that's when the true test for the Nets pick up. So, basically, like I was saying, the Knicks, I would love them to get Westbrook, but only if they don't trade Barrett and they wouldn't trade Mitchell Robinson. Other than that, I think even Kevin Knox, he's a talented young guy, 18 years old. He showed a lot of flashes. Um, I would be willing to give him up, even though I think he still has a lot of potential. But in this game, you gotta give something to get something. So, obviously, I'd have been willing to give him up. Well, yeah, but obviously, Russell Westbrook, he's now with the Rockets, and he's with Harden, and I think it's going to be a good move for him. So congratulations to him, and it's going to be an interesting year in the NBA. Um, and the Knicks are going to be the Knicks. They got a mix of veterans and young guys, but obviously they're trying to build for 2021. You know, but we're not gonna get into that because we've been getting to the maybe this guy's gonna sign with the Knicks, this guy's gonna sign with the Knicks, and as I've been saying for the past couple of years, I'll believe it when I see it, and we're still on the I believe it when I see it mode. So that's it for today. If you like this video, like it, share it, let your thoughts be heard, and click on that notification bell, and of course subscribe if you haven't done so already. So I'm William Ramon. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.